All right. Welcome to class. Let's get started sitting on our mats. Actually, let's lie down on our mats. Let's lie down. Let's lie down. We are going to do some laughter this morning. So feel the weight of your body relaxing on the floor. As you breathe in, feel your body expand, and as you relax and exhale, feel your body contract. Just notice energetically the waves of expansion and contraction. Body filling with breath, with prana, and the toxins leaving the body. If you like, bring your hands to your navel. Feel your belly rise on the inhale and sink back on the exhale. We're going to make the sound ha and notice what happens with our belly as we do that. So taking a deep breath in. Ha, 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 ha. Actually, one hand on your diaphragm and one on your belly. Breathing in and doing some ha's on the exhale. Ha, 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 ha. And let that practice go and notice the after effect. So during the practice, you might have noticed more movement under your diaphragm hand than under your belly hand. So laughing is a very powerful diaphragmatic breathing technique. So it massages your internal organs. And you might have also noticed a little bit of extra oxygen coming to your brain. You might have even noticed a little bit of lightheadedness from too much oxygen. So that's why we're taking some time to let the body settle. So let's inhale and reach the arms up overhead. Take a big stretch through the right side of the body and soften. Inhale, take a big stretch through the left side of the body and soften. Let's do right arm, left leg. And soften, and left arm, right leg. And soften. Inhale, both arms and legs. And soften. Inhale and walk the legs around to one side. Big stretch through the arms and legs and the side of your body. And back to center and big stretch the other way. And back to center. Let's bring one leg in and give it a hug. And circle the ankle. And circle back the other way. And point and flex. And let's release that foot to the floor and stretch it out. Take a breath, notice the two legs and ankles, and bring the other leg in, give it a hug. And you might notice I switched halfway. If it's too much for your knee, you can hug behind the knee instead of on top of the shin. Let's circle the ankle. And circle back the other way. And point and flex. Place that foot on the floor and slide it down. And notice how you feel. And let's walk the feet back up to the edges of your mat so your knees are nice and wide. And bring your hands into goddess position. And we'll lower the knees down to one side. And then lower them down the other way. Breathe into the stretch. And let's lower the knees to one side. Take a few breaths here. And if you'd like a little more challenge, so whatever knee is in the middle, that knee stays. The heel that's closest to that knee is going to come up onto the outside of the knee. And a little bit of extra weight, just increasing the stretch in the thigh. And just breathe into that and surrender to the weight. And let's release that foot back up and lower the knees the other way. You can stay here, or the knee that's in the center stays where it is, and the heel that's closest to that knee is going to come up on top of the knee and weight the leg down a little bit. Surrender into the stretch, breathing into it. And release the foot. Walk the knees back in. Bring them in and give yourself a hug. Place the hands on the knees and press the knees away as you inhale. Bring the knees in on the exhale. Little rock from side to side. And you can either roll to one side to sit up or go into some spinal rock and roll. Either just here, like this, or coming to a plow and rock and roll. A little stiff early in the morning, so this gives your spine a nice little massage, warms you up. And let's come to a seated position. Finding whatever way works for you. Wriggle the buttocks, flesh down, stretch up tall, turn your palms up on your knees. Your shoulders relax down, the back of the neck long, and a little smile on your face. Let's lower the chin and roll the ear to one side. And lower the chin and roll the ear the other way. Back to center and lift the head, the chin parallel to the floor. Let's look over one shoulder and look over the other way. Eyes are soft, neck is long. Shoulders are relaxed down and back. Breath is slow and gentle and deep. Let's inhale the arms up, coming into steeple position or arms parallel. And we'll stretch over to one side. Roll your rib cage a little bit towards the ceiling. Inhale back to center. Deep breath, stretching up and over the other side. And gentle roll just a little bit towards the ceiling. Inhale, float down. Coming into a spinal twist, rotating and looking over your shoulder. And back to center. And twist the other way. And back to center. Let's do some shoulder rolls. And we'll shoulder roll in the opposite direction. And notice how that feels. Let's bring our arms up into goddess position. And we'll draw circles on the ceiling. And draw circles in the opposite direction. Reach the arms out. I'm going to slide on a tabletop. Back to center and slide the other way. We're going to add a little brain game to this. We're going to turn the palm up that we're sliding toward. And then we're going to reverse. Turn the other palm up. Turn that palm down, turn the palm up. So palm down, reaching towards the up side, palm down. I hope you're having as much fun getting this to work as I am. Palm down, palm up. Palm down, palm up. Palm down, palm up. And back to center and down, noticing how much smarter you feel. Let's give ourselves a hug and we'll gently rotate. And back to center and rotate the other way. Now you can stay with this, or keeping your head where it is, rotate your elbows in the opposite direction. And then crossing over, head to one side, elbows to the other. Keeping the spine nice and tall. Deep, full breaths in and out. Take a moment to notice which elbow is on top. Big stretch back. And bring the other elbow in. Give yourself a hug. We'll start by turning head and shoulders together. You can stay with that or head to one side, shoulders the other way, and then reverse. Let your eyes be part of it. And back to center. One more big stretch behind you. And notice the breath should feel deeper, mind calmer. Let's stretch out the legs. Sitting up nice and tall, we'll windshield wiper. And come to stillness. Bring your right heel in, left toes up, coming forward over the leg. Inhale tall, draw the belly in. Take a moment to lengthen your spine before you allow yourself to surrender towards your knee. Keep drawing your belly in and scooping towards your straight leg. Inhale up. You can stay with that variation, or if your knee allows it, bringing the knee forward with the heel by your butt, about a fist distance between the knees. Inhale tall and exhale over. Inhale up. And if you haven't flipped your foot around yet, see if you can do it now. We're going to come back, lifting the chest, stretching out through the front heel. Draw the belly in and up, shoulders back, heart lifted. Press this knee down. And again, if this doesn't work for you, go back to Janu Shirshasana or straight legs, whatever works for you. If this is easy enough for you to do, come down onto your left elbow and inhale your right arm up. Big stretch from knee to fingertips. Press the knee down so that the buttocks isn't gripping. Notice the difference when you do that. And bring your hand back, come on back up. Bring that leg around. Do another little windshield wiper. Shake those legs out. And come to stillness for a moment. This leg should feel very different. Feels bigger, puffier, more energetic, right? And Janu Shirshasana on this side, heel against your thigh, toes turned up, belly in, and stretch over. Starting with a long spine and then surrendering. Inhale back up. Pick that knee up and flip it over. Knees about a fist distance away from each other. Again, if this doesn't work for your legs, stay in Janu Shirshasana. Bring the hands to the floor behind you. Draw the belly in. Bring the spine forward behind the heart. Lift the chest, arc up. Oh, did I forget forward fold in that position? Oh, well. If that was easy, well, let's do the forward fold then. And then we'll come back to the other variation. So. Inhale up. Bring your hands to the floor behind you and either stay here or you're coming down onto the left elbow. No, you're not. Coming down to the right elbow. Excuse me. And left arm stretches. Press your left knee down into the floor. Hand back down, inhale back up. Swing your leg around. Windshield wiper. Come to stillness, inhale tall. Exhale, lengthen over the legs. Surrender over. Inhale back up. Bring your fingertips to the floor behind you. Bring the elbows and shoulders back. Bring the spine forward and lift the heart. You can stay here or coming down onto your hands or your elbows. Lifting the chest into a modified fish pose. Hands to the floor, slowly rock up. Take a moment in Dandasana. You might be a little lightheaded. And turn over and come to the back of your mat in child pose. Take it all in. Let's inhale up into table. And then pushing the floor away from you, walk yourself down into puppy dog. Draw the belly in and lift the tailbone. Spread the fingers wide and press into the floor. Press yourself back into child. Puppy dog, or coming up into table, the hands are a little in front of your shoulders. You draw the belly in, lift the tailbone, turn the toes over, and come up into a downward facing dog with deeply bent knees. And then we'll pedal one heel towards the floor. And then change sides. Lift both heels, lift your tailbone, lift your belly, and press those heels back towards the floor. It's okay if they don't touch. One more breath, bowing towards the floor. Feel your shoulder blades flattening on your back. And then slowly walk yourself to the middle of your mat, forward fold. Let's walk around to one side. Let the head go. It's okay if your knees are bent. Walk around to the other side. Let your head go. Walk around to center. Bring your hands to your thighs and roll your way up. Coming into Tadasana. Take a moment here to ground and reach up. Enjoy the presence. The affirmation for Tadasana is I stand for myself. Standing in your power. We're going to come into some breath of joy. So remember, it's 3 sniffs in and 1 ha out. So we'll just start with the breath. Sniff, sniff, sniff. And the arms are forward, out, up, and down. Forwards, out, up, and down. And the torso is a little bounce. Gonna put it all together. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Exhale with the knees bent. So it's a forward fold at the end. Halfway between a forward fold and a squat, I guess. You can ramp it up, ha, ha, or stay with the slow variation, whichever works for you. Ha, sniff, 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 ha, 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 ha. Getting rid of old air, ha, bringing in new air. If you've done the fast way, let's slow it down. And hang on. Hands to your thighs and slowly roll up. Roll your shoulders and find Tadasana. Let's come out to a big wide 5-pointed star. And take a few breaths here. And we'll rotate the toes towards the right. Scoop the heel back. Inhale tall, we'll reach. Go back to center and reach the other way. Inhale tall, reach over the leg. Come back to center, reach the other way. Inhale, reach back to center and reach the other way. Inhale, tall, reach over the leg, a wider step. Turn your palms to face me. Rotate your arms and come into Trikonasana. Press them out apart with your feet. Spin your rib cage towards the ceiling. Rotate that inner thigh outward, dropping the tailbone, rotating the inner thigh up and the tailbone down. Keeping your spine as straight as you can, so it's not a crunch. It's a long spine, both sides of the body equally long. The bend is happening at the hip crease, not at the waist. So if you're up higher, the hand is in front of you. If you're down low enough, you can have your hand on your ankle. But we don't want to press on the knee. And let's inhale back up. Turn the toes in. Take a breath here. Notice how you feel. If your arms get tired, you can put your hands on your hips. And we'll rotate the toes the other way. Hips and shoulders facing me. Inhale, tall, belly lifts. Reach over the leg as if you're sliding your arms on a tabletop. Inhale, back to center. Reach the other way. And center. And reach. And center. Reach. And center. Reach. And center. And reach. And center. And this time we're going to reach. Widen my feet a little bit. Turn your palms. Windmill. Find your perfect triangle pose for today. Press into the ball of the big toe. Ground through the back heel. And inhale back up. Turn the toes in, 5-pointed star. And toe, heel, or quietly jump back to Tadasana. We're going to come to eagle pose. So we start with a little bend in the knees. Let's pick up our left heel. Inhale our arms up overhead. So the knee that's up, that's the hand that comes down first. The other elbow comes inside. You either hug your shoulders or cross your palms, lift your elbows, the shoulders down. Now, your standing leg is bent slightly. You're looking through your arms. You can stay here with your toe on the floor here, or squeeze your thighs together and bring your toe to the floor on the other side. Clearly, you have to be with bent knees to make the foot work. So the foot, well, I don't know, it could still reach. But anyway, you want to have bent knees. Okay, you can stay here or pick the toes up off the floor. And if you're super flexible, you can even wrap your foot around your other ankle. So we're squeezing everything together as much as we can. Ready? Let's fly. So that's called the squeeze and soak effect. We're squeezing everything, squeezing out the toxins in our cells. And then when we release and fly, fresh oxygenated blood courses through our arteries and veins and flushes away the toxins and reinvigorates the cells. So let's do the other side. So a little bend in the knees. Shift your weight to your left foot, lifting your right heel. Hips are back like in chair pose. Arms come up. So the knee that's up, that's the elbow that comes down first. The other elbow comes inside. You can hug yourself or hands cross and touch. Lift the elbows slightly, shoulders down. Look through your arms. Stay here. Or cross the legs, knees are bent, toe on the floor. Squeeze the legs and arms together. If you feel super confident, put that foot up off the floor. If you feel super flexible, wrap your ankle or your foot around your ankle. I haven't been able to do that in years. Squeezing everything together and breathing. Are you ready? Let's fly and come back to Tadasana. Okay, when you're ready, melt down onto your back of your mat into child pose, please. Let's come up into table. We're going to do some cat circles. And circle the other way. Come back to center and bring your knees together. Let's pick up the right leg and cross it over the left leg so that your knees are crossed. And do a little waggle here. Maybe you'll scoop into the middle of your mat. And now walk yourself back and plop yourself down, and you should be in Gomukhasana. Let me turn this way on demo. You've got your knees crossed here, little waggle just to warm up. And then when you sit back down, you should find yourself in Gomukhasana with one knee on top of the other. If that doesn't work for you, bring your foot on the floor and give yourself a hug that way. If that doesn't work for you, take easy pose. So we're going to sit up nice and tall, shoulders relaxed, feet are flexed. Either here or here. If you're sitting here, just stay here. Get as tall as you can. If you're here and you'd like to come forward a little bit, you can. Inhale up. Uncross your legs. Windshield wiper. And come back into table. Again, I'm going to do table facing you. A little bit of cat circle. And cat circle the other way. And I forgot to say, remember which leg you crossed. Oh boy. Hopefully you remember which leg you crossed over. So with the other leg, crossing your knees. That's a little waggle with the tail. And then flop back onto your hips. And you should be in Gomukhasana. If that doesn't work for you, just have the knee up and give it a hug. Shoulders down, stretch up tall. Can't go very far forward in that because the knee's in the way. You're just hugging that knee in, getting a nice side stretch here. If you're in Gomukhasana, then have your hands on your feet. Inhale tall and come forward a little. Inhale up. And everybody bring your foot to the floor here. Knee up. We're coming to our spinal twist, pulling the knee across, the other hand to the floor behind you. Inhale back to center. Change sides. Foot on the floor in front of your knee, grab your knee. Pull your knee across your body and twist. And inhale back to center. Uncross your legs. Surrender over. Get what you need for Shavasana and come lie down. You can stay here as long as you like. When you're ready, slowly bring some movement back into your fingers and toes. Gently move and stretch in whatever way feels good to you. When you're ready, place your feet flat on the floor, roll to one side, make a pillow with your arms, blink your eyes gently, and make your way to a seated position. Namaste.